Hello, it's Michael from McLeod. What I'm going to show you today is how to allocate bank data that you've imported into McLeod using just the manual bank data import process. Now, I've already imported the actual data in, and now we click on Allocate. And here you can now see the data that's been allocated into McLeod. Now, obviously, as you can see, there's lots of transactions here, and I'm just going to show you some basic transactions of how to allocate certain things and not necessarily do every single type of process. But obviously, or you can actually sort it on date order, the amount order, and you actually can search for text. So say, for example, here you want to search for interest. Then you bring up all the interest amounts, and just say, for example, here we'll now allocate an amount of interest. So what you do is you select there, click please select, and then select bank interest. And then you get taken to this particular screen which has the interest, and then you can just basically, most of the information is already filled out. You just type in interest, and you can click on save income, and that particular transaction is now dealt with. And so you can continue to do the same for the other interest amounts, but at this stage I'll just show you how to allocate other information. Now here also we've got a transfer for property loan. So again, it's a matter of just selecting the please select button and then just going down to find sort of the other sort of actions. In this case it's bank transfer. And obviously, again, it pre-selects this account, and obviously you can put it through the property loan. And obviously, there's the $5,000, and then you can, again, just click on transfer funds, and now that particular transfer is now done. Another example here is, a contribution's come in for the member. So again, you can select contribution. And obviously, this one's obviously the on behalf of. So you need to just select the person account that's going into. So this one is actually Beryl Brown. And now you need to select the type of contribution type. So this one's actually an employee concessional. And again, you click on Add Contribution, and that will then deal with that particular transaction. So now we've just got some other examples here like rent. So again, there's LJ Hooker rent. As you can see, there's rent here. Obviously, now they need to select the account, so it's a fund account. Select the asset, which is 55 Sirius Street. And obviously now you'll notice there's $13.50 here, and it sort of automatically puts just $1 in there. So obviously in this case there was this was actual say May rent, and it was actually $1,500. So obviously this is a net amount, so you can just put the net amount in if you wish, but obviously in this case we're just going to try and do it so that everything is correct. So the agent's commission, and this is $150. So again, that makes it equal now $13.50. So you do need to check to make sure that this is equaling this amount here, and then you can save the income. Okay. So now we'll just go through and we'll do a dividend payment here as another example. So here we got West Farmers dividend. Again, we click on the account, which is the fund account. Select the asset, which again is West Farmers, and a 30 for the third. So you can sit there and say this is a 2020 interim dividend, or whatever description you want to give it. It's not compulsory to give something, but obviously, and you obviously need to know your dividend statements. But obviously in this case, it's $450 franked dividend, and then you click on Save Income. So now we'll do just there's a look to the second page, because there is a sort of a purchase of shares here, which I'll show you how to do with a purchase of shares. In this case, again, you go down and go down to the bottom, and you're saying it's a asset purchase. Again, it's the fund, direct equities. Now, as you can look at this particular information here, the information tells us that there's 300 shares bought at $28.93. So at this stage, we've got certain information, but obviously within the description, but obviously you may not have that, so you need to establish what that is. And obviously you start typing in the code, which is Woolworths shares. So it's listed, if you've got this information here, you would include it. Obviously the volume is 300 shares, and the actual total cost was actually 86. It was actually 300 at 28.93, so it's not quite. So you can put that in there, but actually it was not 19.95 of brokerage. So I just need to work out what the amount is here. That's 8679.95. I think so. Look here. A little bit of guesswork here, and obviously here that equals the 8698.95, and this amount was 8679. It's really up to you if you really want to include the brokerage, or you could put the share cost incorporating that. Again, you click on Save Assets. Okay, so now we're just going to go back to the previous screen, because there's a sale here again, which is very similar situation here. So there was 1250 shares sold at $4.50 for Telstra shares. So we'll just go through and we'll deal with this one. So this one is the sales proceeds. So it's a fund, and we know this one is a Telstra Corporation sold. We know that the sales proceeds were this amount, but obviously the sales proceeds was 5625, and the 1250 was the volume, and it was a brokerage fee of 19.95. So again, that equals to 5605.05. So that's brokerage is taken off the sales proceeds. So again, you can just check to make sure these figures equal, and then you can click on Dispose of Assets. Whoops, I think I've made. Obviously, you need to select how the disposal was done first, disposal method, first in, first out. Now this will then show you the capital gains calculation. So obviously they've purchased $3.21, and they've sold it, for quite a bit more money. So they made a short-term capital gain here of $1583.60. Obviously this is short-term because they've bought and sold the shares within a less than 12-month period. And now you click on Dispose of Asset. This will now take you back to the previous screen. And obviously also we've got other income distributions here. This is for the VAS. So this one's just trust distribution. Just looking for it there. Again, just select on the fund. Select the assets. So basically this was VAS, and obviously you might put down this as the March 2020 distribution, and obviously it's $825, and then you can click on Save Income. Now the other thing you can do, so just say for example you've already imported the data for the bank loan and done the transfers for property loans, you can go over here and delete anything you've already entered, say via another bank import process. Or maybe you've doubled up in some transactions you entered manually, and these ones now appear. So you can delete the transactions yourself by just clicking on here and just clicking on delete, and then that will delete that particular transaction. So that's probably just showing you how to use the bank import process and allocation. Thanks very much.